We have just read the Dharma words of Grandmaster Sotaesan on the enlightenment, seeing into nature. And seeing into nature is a necessary condition for following the Buddha way and realizing Buddhahood. You know, the necessary condition of something. There are two kinds of conditions. One is a necessary condition, the other one is a sufficient condition. When you have a combustion, oxygen is a necessary condition. There cannot be combustion without oxygen. So oxygen is a necessary condition for combustion. For one to be enlightened and become a Buddha, there is a necessary condition. The necessary condition is seeing into one's own nature, or Buddha nature. And no one can become a Buddha or a living Buddha without seeing into one's own nature. And if one is not enlightened to one's own nature, one's own thought, views of the world, oneself could be imperfect, it could be crooked, partial, sometimes false and wrong. Therefore, what is of utmost importance in practice is to see into one's own nature. That's why throughout the whole East Asian Buddhism, especially Zen Buddhism, the emphasis is put on seeing into one's own nature. As Suzuki said, that the Zen without seeing into one's own nature is like the sun with no light and heat. So seeing into one's own nature is that important. And some Buddhist monks spent like 20 years to have a genuine glimpse of one's own nature. 20 years. Well, in WonBuddhism, we don't recommend that you spend your 20 years of your life simply for seeing into your own nature. Mostly the Buddhist monks, they don't do anything in the urban and rural area, handling your daily business or family life. They are just, most of them are celibate, they don't get married, they don't have a family, and spend almost whole life only in the mountain valleys to get enlightened. And if all the people in the world follow that way, how could we take care of the world, all the business? So in WonBuddhism, we don't recommend that you should spend your whole life in the mountain valleys to get enlightened to your own nature. Then what does WonBuddhism teach? Well, WonBuddhism teaches that you practice Zen in your daily life. If you can keep the Zen mind in daily life, then we call it timeless Zen and the placeless Zen. Don't separate your life from Buddha Dharma. Like what? When you drive your car, be serene, alert, and if somebody make a bad move, don't get angry at it. If you get angry, you are losing the Zen mind. If you make a finger at somebody who is driving very bad, you are losing your Buddha mind. See? So we must bring the Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching, into our daily life, hustling, bustling daily life, and to see how you can keep the originally enlightened Wangak Myoshin, marvelously enlightened, or perfectly enlightened, marvelous mind in any situation. And that's the way we identify Buddha Dharma with daily life. So daily life is Buddha Dharma, and the Buddha Dharma is daily life. It is one thing that you understand what the Buddha teaches, and it's totally another that you practice it. If you learn how to play piano only with the books and with a lot of explanations, but you don't practice it, you go nowhere, right? You can have a thorough knowledge of the principles of sound, whatever the scores and scale of the music, but if you don't start practicing it, it's no good. Buddhism too. Truth, Mahayana Buddhism, truth is practice. What do you mean practice? Practice means you have originally enlightened marvelous mind. Like a piano, if you play it, it produces beautiful sound. Or Stradivarius, the violin. Some of them are these days like $2, $3, $4 million. That's what I heard. I thought it was about $1 million. These days, $4 million. And you have a mind which is like a Stradivarius. However, if you keep that out of tune, it doesn't produce the right pitch and sound. Your mind. So what our goal is to have clear and perfect enlightenment to our own Buddha nature, and then let the Buddha mind function right. Thereby, you live every step, every moment, the life of the Buddha. And if you are not enlightened, then you are in the world where you cannot but suffer, And for the past several weeks, I tried to explain the WonBuddhist practice of Yironsang, the circle. And we saw that necessary condition for the proper practice of the Yironsang is to be enlightened to the truth of Yironsang. And I tried to explain what the truth of Yironsang is, which you can find in the scripture. And in that very short text, like a half a page, the essence of the Mahayana Buddhism, of the Huayan Buddhism, Tiantai Buddhism, and Zen Buddhism are all summarized there, using only a few technical terms, like true emptiness, marvelous existence. If you understand that one, you will understand the heart of the ultimate truth of the universe. Because the ultimate truth of the universe is, on the one hand, is truly empty, and yet it exists marvelously. The whole world is the appearance of this truly empty and yet marvelous existence. The other one was empty and calm, and yet is luminously aware. Luminous or divine awareness. So the substance of the way, which is truly empty, but when it functions as luminous or divine awareness. You are aware of the world through your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and your body feel. The world experience is what the truly empty and yet luminous awareness gives you. Through that awareness,